As more and more things start opening in the world amid the pandemic, more and more middle-aged single mothers are trying to go back out into society and find things to be angry about. I recently covered the Karen apocalypse that we've just experienced. However, if the Karen apocalypse was an earthquake, what you're about to see is the aftershock. One thing I find interesting is since most people have been inside for a long time now, a lot of people are starting to get a vitamin D deficiency from what I've read. But I'd argue it's almost more dangerous to go outside due to an overdose of vitamin K. Karen. Society right now, the outside world that I've now become a stranger to, is experiencing dangerous levels of exposure to vitamin K. It's like walking into fucking Chernobyl if instead of radiation it was just pure negative Karen shit. So let me just show you the recent Karen Armageddon we're now experiencing.
45 minutes of having it on. It's the first time I've worn one. I am disoriented. I'm a little mad, if you can't tell that already.
Oh, don't worry, you weren't keeping that a secret from me. I had a sneaking suspicion. Between that stereotypical where's your manager haircut, it's time to go to corporate and take a shit, also the facial expression that just kind of conveys I'm always mad even when things are great, I was just able to immediately sniff out you were a bit upset about something.
Like I'm frustrated, but I don't feel good physically. Like I can tell you right now, I wasn't getting enough oxygen and I just had on one of these little stupid things.
I see what she means. I can hardly breathe in this shit. I'm about to fucking pass out on you, just suffocating myself here. I like how my beard hair kind of sticks out here. It's like little innocent pubes popping out of someone's whitey tighties. But anyway, this is something I see a lot from these kind of people. I can't breathe in it. It's impossible. I'm suffocating to death. I would have loved to see her in the store if she's trying that shit. Like she's just like falling over herself and then like everyone's ripping the mask off to try and save her life. Jesus! What is this? A mask? She's killing herself for our safety. What a hero. She's wearing a mask and she's dying for it. As if there's anything easier in the world than just putting on a mask. Like how fucking spoiled and entitled and weak do you have to be to think that putting on a mask is some like giant sacrifice or something that's hard?
I feel dizzy. My hands are kind of tingly. My heart is beating fast. So some of it's an emotional reaction, but some of it's a physical reaction.
Now, I'm no doctor, so please take this diagnosis with a grain of salt, but I think what you're experiencing is hyper-screeching withdrawals. The symptoms seem about in line with that. You see, for 2 months, you haven't been able to go out in public and yell and scream at retail workers, so your body's just been a little bit confused, and now that you're out in public again, it's getting tingles, it's getting anxious, it's just its way of responding.
I understand the virus is real. Okay, I understand the virus is real.
Well, that's better than a lot of people on Facebook, so good for her there. But it's also extremely sad that there's actually people that don't think it's real, so you have to clarify that you believe in it, as if there's some type of fucking debate on whether or not it's real.
Friends, look at the numbers and tell me why everybody's living in fear. Tell me why we're putting these things on and not being able to breathe. I just want to cry.
Well, go ahead and cry. I'm not gonna arrest you for it. Let it all out. And as for why people are putting masks on and not being able to breathe, I think that's a problem exclusive only to you. I mean, this may come as a shock, but doctors work like 12-hour days with a mask on the entire time. Nurses too, so they can clearly breathe. The design's fine. No one's suffocating wearing a mask. Just because you soldiered through a brave 45 minutes while getting your gluten-free food at the Whole Foods doesn't mean that you're some expert on masks now. I'm pretty sure you were breathing just fine. I don't know how the fuck you walk around breathing if you're struggling in a mask. Do you just, like, wide open mouth, just suck all the air in as big as possible?
That's all I want to do is cry because you can't see people's faces. You can't make human connection. We can't hug people. We can't hold their babies.
That's kind of a weird thing to point out, right? You can't hold people's babies? Like, what does this woman do? Just go around, like, snatching babies, like, bringing them back to the stork or something? Like, that's not exactly common. You shouldn't be going up to strangers and asking to hold their babies in the first place. Now, if you're around your friends and shit, yeah, I guess not being able to hold their babies might be a common problem. I don't really know. I just feel like that's a strange one to point out. Like, you know, a lot of bad shit's come with the coronavirus, but one thing no one's really talking about, the worst thing is, we can't just hold people's babies anymore.
It doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. And I'm not okay with it. Nothing about what we're doing is supported by the numbers that are out there. Those of you that know me, like I am one of the most compassionate, caring people you will ever meet.
Whenever someone says something like that, I immediately doubt it. No one that's actually compassionate and caring goes around wearing that like a badge of honor. I'm so humble. In fact, I'm one of the most humble people you'll ever get to know. In fact, I probably care more about all of you people than you people even care about yourselves. That's how good of a person I am, and you should know that. And I'm just letting you know that, just because I am such a good person. You know, that doesn't really rub me the right way. I just doubt that claim. But as she said, she's not okay with it, so I think it's time we cancel the coronavirus. Let's just get rid of the coronavirus now. This lady is clearly not having a good time because of it, and since she's not okay with it, well, we need to change everything. I like this one because the lady in it walks around like a video game NPC. It's like she's playing Animal Crossing with the shovel trying to get the right slot. But instead of a shovel, she's using her phone to record for her Facebook anti-vax group, so...
So it's against the law?
It's against the law to make you wear a mask. It's against the law.
Well, if you say so. I mean, I'm not going to question her. She seems like the law. She's like the embodiment of the law. So whatever she says, yeah, you know, I'm just going to agree with.
The ADA tells them that you cannot make people wear a mask. It's not our laws at all. This is just made up by Bill Gates and them, and by you wearing that. Seriously, think about it. You're breathing out your toxic air, and you're breathing in the same air. You're making your lungs, you're killing your antibodies.
It's always just impressive how people can get to this point and be like this. To blame Bill Gates, of all people you could have chosen. You could have done something a little cooler, like going after Elon Musk, since he's doing some like weird shit on Twitter. Why not target him? But to go after Bill Gates just seems, I don't know, underwhelming. To make him like this giant Thanos behind the coronavirus. I would have preferred if they chose a different path for their supervillain, but it is what it is. For some reason they've chosen him. And I think the most impressive thing about this one in particular is the lady filming. She was filming because she so firmly believes that she's in the right and doesn't look crazy. And I always think that's just the wildest part. How people can be so disconnected from reality that they think that they're right and justified with their behavior that they'll go so far as to film it for their friends in their little Facebook echo chambers. I just think that's just sad and pretty wild.
If there's a cold that comes around in November, you're getting sick. You're making yourself sick. You're making... Breathe.
Yeah, you're spitting out too.
No, baby, that's not what's going to make you sick. You're alive. Go look on the package, and it will tell you. It will not protect you from COVID-19. You are hurting yourself. Don't stop being lied to. They want to kill all the Mexicans.
Do you believe in the COVID?
They want to kill all the black people. They want to kill everybody. Watch out what you're being told. You're being lied to.
It's actually really hard to keep up with the exposition here. I really don't understand at all what she's talking about or where she's going. But god damn it, she's confident in it and really fucking obnoxious.
Do you believe in it?
Do I believe with the COVID? I believe there's a virus, but it's not what they say. It's like any other virus. They have 99% cure. 99% cure. So what kind of a virus is that? We all had viruses. We all get colds. You're being lied to. Please do your due diligence. Read, do your research. Don't let the government fool you.
That's something I hear a lot from this community. Do your research. It's like flat earthers. Do real research, not like, you know, real research. Do our research. Please read our sources. Please stay on Facebook and read our bullshit. But these people are so ingrained in their beliefs that no matter what, they're never changing. Like in that Flat Earth documentary, there's multiple groups of flat earthers that prove themselves wrong multiple times and still just brush it off like, oh, we must have just done something wrong. Now, the world can't be round because we think it's flat. So all this, everything that proves it's round that we just did ourselves, well, it's wrong. We must have messed up because it's flat. That's the exact same way these people operate. No matter what, they're not going to change what they believe, which sucks because it's just objectively wrong and harmful misinformation that they share between each other. But it is what it is, and at least you get some Karens melting down in public, which is always at least fun to watch from a distance.
Be smart, please, for your sake. Because what's happening is she's hurting her antibodies in her body. She's breathing in the toxicity and the carbon monoxide that is going to make her sick. She's not getting enough breath in her lungs, which is going to cause her lungs to weaken. It's all damaging. Look it up for yourself. Go online and look it up.
I will.
Take my word. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Professor. Have a lovely day going home and then yelling at your husband.
Okay, so I need to talk to a manager because I'm not wearing a mask.
Okay, understood.
Perfect.
Just a moment.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's always refreshing to hear that signature catchphrase, I need to speak to a manager. it's refreshing, honestly. I just really, you can always get like a sense of joy when a very irate woman says those words, because you already know what's going to follow, and it just never really gets old.
Hi. Hi, I have a medical condition that I'm not allowed to wear a mask, and I'm not required by HIPAA rules and regulations to disclose that.
Being a loudmouthed asshole is not a medical condition that prevents a mask. In fact, it should be encouraged so that way you're not just fucking screeching. At least the mask will act like a little muffler, like a fucking silencer on James Bond's gun for your fucking yelling at the retail workers. I also decided to look into it because she publicly talks about herself in this video and puts herself out there, so I looked into it. The medical condition she has does not prevent her from wearing a mask in any way. And just for the sake of playing by her rules, I won't disclose what the medical condition is, but she talks about it constantly and just has it plastered all over her website. She's also an avid flat earther and considers herself a general truther in all things, as most of these people do.
So, what does that look like? I have private things I want to get that maybe I don't want you to see.
But I can't let you in the store without a mask.
Okay, so where's the regulations that state that?
The regulation?
Yeah.
That is company
Because you're
policy.
discriminating against me now. Do you know that?
The bombshell! She said she's being discriminated against! Oh, well, now this company needs to close its doors or let her in and let her make her own rules. Now you've gone too far. To discriminate against her? Yep, now you've gone too far. Oh, you're going on her blog, mister. You're really done fucked up now.
I'm
You're
offering
discriminating
you
against
that
me.
we can help you.
No, because I have private stuff that I don't want you to see.
What kind of private stuff could you possibly be buying at a grocery store? What, are you scraping bacon grease off the grills in the back and are embarrassed about it? Are you smuggling plutonium in there or something? What could possibly be a big secret at a grocery store that would be embarrassing? All they fucking carry for the most part is food and vitamins. What, do you want people to not know that you take fish oil pills or something? I don't really get it. It's a lame fucking excuse. These people just look for reasons to stay angry, even when people are offering alternatives to kind of fit into what they're comfortable with in their lunacy. This man's going above and beyond, saying, we can shop for you, we can do this for you, do that for you, and she just comes up with the most outlandish excuses to not use that and stay angry. It's wild to me.
You can call corporate office, but I can't help you.
Okay, well, you guys can get a lawsuit because you can't discriminate.
I'm trying to help you, but I'm
No,
not
you
going to
can't. How's that helping when you're gonna do shopping for me? I'm gonna give you my bank information.
doing the best I can
How do I?
with you.
Huge kudos to this guy for staying so calm during a Category 5 Karen hurricane, because this shit is so fucking annoying. I don't know how he was able to maintain his cool.
Miss, call corporate office. I'm sorry.
Okay, I need a card. Do you have a card for them?
I sure can.
That'd be great. If anybody wants to shop here, you have to have a mask, and here is the policies.
I edited out the part where she talks about who she is and also where she is, just for the sake of not having people go harass her. But she talks about the policies, which a company is absolutely entitled to have, and pretty much everywhere requires you to wear a mask. But for some reason, these whiny children just can't put a mask on, which takes literally less than a second. It's genuinely one of the easiest things a human being can possibly do. It takes no effort, it takes no time, and it's not that big of a fucking deal. Just some fucking misbehaving children. You can't tell me what to do. I don't want to do this. I'm gonna throw a fucking temper tantrum and I'm gonna throw my Legos on that side of the room and you can't stop me. Fuck you. I'm putting this on Facebook.
But you're pretty chipper. You're pretty chipper. Huh? You're happy? Why not be? Why are you happy?
Yeah, buddy. Why are you happy when she's clearly not happy? Because she's unhappy, no one in the world is allowed to be happy. If there was a kid with an ice cream cone and a smile on their face, this woman would go over and slap that shit right out of their hands. And do you know why? It's because she's unhappy. So why the fuck is anyone else allowed to be happy? But yeah, anyway, these are the most recent Karen sightings. I'm sure there's going to be plenty more as the floodgates are starting to open. So stay tuned for more incredible Karen antics out in society. That's about it. See ya.